Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, Observing the Armies on the Battlefield, Text 14 onwards. Tataha shveter hayer yukte mahati sandane stitau madhavah pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradatmatuh. In text number 14 through 20, Sanjay is going to mention 5 signs which from the very beginning indicated that Pandavas would be victorious in this great battle. By mentioning these 5 signs, he hoped to convince Dhritarashtra to withdraw from this battle so that this entire destruction could be avoided. In text number 14 itself, he mentions 3 powerful signs. Translation: On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Actually, 4 signs have been mentioned in this verse itself. Number 1 sign is Lord Krishna's presence on Arjuna's chariot. There is a saying that if you have God on your side, it doesn't matter who is on the other side. Lord Krishna, being the supreme mystic and the source of all power, all opulence, was seated on Arjuna's chariot to guide him. Before the battle began, when the Pandavas and the Kauravas were both trying to get allies, Arjuna was sent by Yudhishthir Maharaj to Dwarka to fetch Krishna's help. Duryodhana came to know, he also ran to Dwarka, but he reached before Arjuna. Krishna, being related to both the sides, had declared that he would not participate actively in the war. However, he was making himself available as a chariot driver, and the other side could have his invincible Narayani Sena. Duryodhana came and he sat next to Krishna's head. Krishna was resting at that time. And Arjuna, he sat at Krishna's feet. He came later. When Krishna wakes up, he sees Arjuna first. And he asks him, Arjuna, oh, how come you are here? What do you want? And suddenly Duryodhana was very insecure. He pops up, no, I came before Arjuna. So Krishna said, that's all right. I assume both of you have come to seek my help. But as you know, I would not be fighting. Either of you could have my Narayani Sena, or one of you could have me as a chariot driver. I would not lift any weapons, that's my vow. And Arjuna, you can ask first. Immediately, Duryodhana protested, oh, I came first. Krishna said, but I saw him first. Secondly, Arjuna is younger to you, so his claim is first. He should be given the first opportunity. Duryodhana is hoping that Arjuna doesn't ask for the Narayani Sena. And Arjuna immediately says, Krishna, we want you by our side. And Duryodhana was so relieved. And Krishna said, Arjuna, are you out of your mind? This is a war. This is a world war. We are not going for a picnic. What would you do with me as your chariot driver? You can have many more chariot drivers. Why don't you take the army? Arjuna said, I don't want that. I just want you to be by my side, and that's the unanimous verdict of all Pandavas. So you have to be with us. That's all. We don't want the army. And Duryodhana was happy, and he's like, oh, now since Arjuna has already asked for you, I'm only left with army. Internally he was rejoicing. his heart was jumping in ecstasy because he didn't want Krishna. He was thinking, what will this cowherd boy do? He's not even going to lift weapons. Chariot drivers, I have many more, much better than him. So Arjuna, again Krishna asked him, are you sure you don't want me, the army? You need warriors. You need somebody to fight. Why are you doing this? I still give you that another chance. Arjuna said, I don't want it. Again Krishna insisted, and finally Arjuna said, look Krishna, we are not concerned with this war, whether we win or lose it. That's not so relevant. All we want is just you by our side. That's it. We just want you. Whether we win the war or lose it, we don't care. We do not give a damn about it. That's why Krishna was so attached to the Pandavas. No matter what happened, they always prioritized Krishna. They always gave him that number one position in their life. And therefore Krishna, as he declares in the Bhagavad Gita, as you approach me, I reward you accordingly. So he was always by their side. He was duty bound to protect them. Meanwhile, Duryodhana, because he had no devotion, he could not understand Krishna's position. He didn't even have this much intelligence to understand that a person who could create this invincible Narayani Sena, Duryodhana was so happy to have on his side, then how powerful that person himself must be. Because after all, the possessor is always greater than the possession. But he didn't have that intelligence. And this one choice made by Arjuna and the Pandavas made them victorious. This one factor made all the difference in Kurukshetra. So in our life also we have many choices like that. We have to choose between Krishna and his opulences. Everything in this world, name, fame, beauty, enjoyment, wealth, everything is Krishna's opulence only. So who we choose? Do we prioritize Krishna when we have to choose between the two? Do we choose Krishna or do we choose his opulences? Do we prioritize Krishna or do we prioritize his opulences? Whatever choice we make will decide whether we are Duryodhan or Arjun. And whatever choice we make will decide whether we come out victorious in the battles of life or we become an utter failure in life. So we have to be very careful. Always prioritize, follow Arjuna, choose Krishna over anything else, choose his service over anything else, especially when there is an option, when there is a choice. So that one choice will make us win the ultimate war in life. We might lose certain battles, but the ultimate war will be won by us, by Krishna's grace. So this is the first factor Sanjay is mentioning, Krishna's presence. But if you see, Krishna has been addressed as Madhava in this verse. So many different names are used for Krishna and Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita in different contexts. And every time a particular name is used, we should know there is a particular consciousness, a motive behind why it is used. So we'll be explaining that with every verse. So here Madhava specifically has been used. Madhava means the husband of goddess of fortune, husband of Lakshmi. Dhana Lakshmi, Bhagya Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, same personality. So since Krishna was present on Pandava's side, and Mother Lakshmi always follows her husband wherever he goes, so it also indicated that she was also favorably disposed toward the Pandavas. She was also present on the side of the Pandavas. So all good fortune was present on Pandava's side. Second sign. Third sign, the chariot on which the Arjuna is seated has been described as great chariot. Why? Because it was donated to him by fire god Agni when he had helped him. And this chariot had a benediction that whoever was seated on it and wherever the chariot was drawn within the three worlds, the person would always come out victorious. He would never lose. And since Arjuna was seated on this chariot, it was like match fixing. It was already decided that he would win. And if Arjuna won, that means the Pandavas won. Fourth sign, the conch shells that the Pandavas are going to blow now have been described as transcendental conch shells. And they produce a very, very special effect, or you can say devastating effect on the Kauravas. Whereas when the Kauravas blew their conch shells, nothing happened on Pandavas' side. So, one more important point to note here is that on the Kauravas' side, the commander-in-chief Bhishma Deva blew his conch shell first. When it was Pandava's turn to respond, it was not Drishtadumna who was the commander-in-chief, but the first conch shell was blown by Krishna. That way Krishna indirectly indicated to the Kauravas that it was he who was the real commander-in-chief of the Pandava army. It was he who was actually leading them. So make no mistakes about it. So during the battle also, at least 3 times in the first 10 days, Duryodhana went to Bhishma that you are being partial to your favorite grandchildren, the Pandavas. You are not fighting your full strength. Otherwise, they are no match for you. So you could have easily killed them by now. Bhishma kept on listening to Duryodhana again and again, day after day. But one day he just told him, "You are a fool, Duryodhana. Cannot you understand one simple thing? What to speak of all the Kauravas, including you, me, and all our warriors and all our soldiers? Even if the 33 crore Devatas come, even if Lord Shiva, Brahma comes, and all of us combined attack the Pandavas, we won't be able to harm them even a bit, because Krishna is on their side. We can't do anything to the Pandavas. They're always protected. Krishna is on their side. So even if all the forces of the universe unite, we won't be able to kill them. We won't be able to harm them in any way." So Bhishma, being a great soul, understood this. Duryodhana didn't. Anyways, so the transcendental conch shells, now they have been described. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayah Paundram Dadmo Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodarah. Text 15. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta. It was given to him by the Devas. Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Paundra. When it comes to describing Bhima, Sanjay uses some adjectives to instill fear in Dhritarashtra's heart. Because Dhritarashtra also knew if his sons had to die at all, they would only die at the hands of Bhima. So Sanjay wants to scare him. There is still time. You can still stop this war. Text 16 to 18. The transcendental conch shells of other warriors on Pandava's sides have been described. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthirah Nakulah Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpakau Kashyascha Parameshvasah Shikhandi Cha Maharatha Drishtadumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitah Drupado Drapadeyascha Sarvashah Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankhan Dadmuh Prithak Prithak. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, that means endless victory. And Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sughosha, that means auspicious sound, Mani Pushpaka, made of pearls, shaped like a flower. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Now text number 19 describes the extraordinary effect that all these conch shells produced. Saghosho dhartarashranam hridayani vadarayat nabhascha prithvim chaiva tumulo abhiyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So when the conch shells were blown by Bhishma and the Kauravas, no such occurrence is mentioned. But when Pandavas blew their conch shells, it instilled some unknown fear in their hearts. Their hearts were shattered, indicative of some future danger that was to come into their life. Sometimes we also get signs, we suddenly start feeling something bad is going to happen, some signals we get. So similar kind of a situation manifested in the hearts of the Kauravas. Text 20, the fifth sign has been mentioned in this, indicating Pandava's strength. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva dhartarashtran kapidhvajah pravritte shastra sampate dhanur udyamya pandavah rishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate. At that time Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. So the fifth sign is Hanuman's presence on the chariot flag of Arjuna. When the Pandavas were living in exile, Bhima had met Hanuman and he had requested him to come and help them when the war actually takes place. Hanumanji said that he was very old now, so he couldn't fight. He didn't want to participate in the war, but he would station himself on the flag of Arjuna's chariot, and whenever Bhima would roar, Hanuman would also join him. And history is the proof that just by their roars, Bhima and Hanuman killed so many warriors. They would just fall down dead. It was so scary. So many elephants would fall down dead. So many horses died. So that's how Hanuman was helping the Pandavas. In the previous incarnation, Lord Krishna was Ram, and Hanuman and Ram had cooperated and killed the mighty demon Ravana. And the Kaurava warriors who were standing in front of them, compared to Ravana and his associates, they were nothing. So it is a proof that those same Ram and Hanuman were again together now. So it would not be difficult for them to destroy this Kaurava race. So that's the fifth sign indicated. First sign is Krishna's presence on the Pandavas' side. Second is Lakshmi's presence or Lakshmi's favorable glance upon the Pandavas because Krishna is favoring them. Number 3, the chariot on which Arjuna is seated is a divine chariot, has a benediction. Whoever is seated on it will always come out victorious no matter where the chariot was drawn in the 3 worlds. Number 4, the transcendental conch shells shattered, instilled fear in the hearts of the Kauravas, thus indicative of some future danger. And fifth sign, Hanuman's presence on the chariot flag of Arjuna. He is there to cooperate with his dear Lord Ram, again to destroy the enemies. Now the conch shells have been blown from both the sides. And next thing, as we know, all of us have watched TV serials, next thing is attack. But suddenly, in text number 21-22, we see Arjuna has started manifesting some different symptoms. He had come to fight. The conch shells have been blown. It's not a matter of becoming complacent or indulging in some talk. He should just pick up his weapons and shoot. But what is happening here? Arjuna uvacha senayor bhayor madhye ratham sthapayame achyuta yavadetan niriksheham yodhukama navasthitan kairmaya sah yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Arjuna is telling Krishna, can you take my chariot in the middle of two armies because I want to see who has come to fight? As if he didn't know. From the beginning he knew who had come to oppose him, who he was fighting against. But why is he telling this? He is telling Krishna, take my chariot. The name or the word used for Krishna here is Achyuta. Achyuta means infallible, or the one who never falls from his position. So Arjuna is ordering Krishna to drive his chariot. But he is using the word Achyuta to let everyone else know that you should not think just because Krishna is driving my chariot, he has lost his supreme position as God. He's Achyuta, he's infallible. Like if we see the wealthiest person in the city driving around a taxi, what would we conclude? That he has lost his wealth and poor boy, poor man, he's just now struggling to make ends meet. But that's not the case with God. Whether he's acting as a child, as a young boy, whether he's driving a chariot, whether he's fighting or he's dancing, whatever he does, he's always God and he's always powerful. His powers are always present. Like when we are a child, our strength gradually increases with age. But the Lord is always powerful. Even when he was just 6 days old, he killed the mighty demoness Putana. 6 months, Shakatasura was killed. 3 months, Trinavarth was killed. Like that. So, God is God in all situations. He doesn't lose his godhood. He's just acting, he's just playing a leela. That's why what he does is leela, what we do is karma. That's his pastime. So he tells Krishna, take my chariot in the middle of two armies. I want to see. Now if you see, you call your child, come and have your dinner. And the child says, can I come and see what's there for dinner? What does that mean? He's doubtful whether he wants to eat or not. He's unsure. So there is some sort of uncertainty that has arisen in Arjuna's mind. He says, Yotsemana navekshyaham yete yatra samagataha dharta rashtrasya durbuddhir yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Sanjay uvacha Eva mukto rishikesho gudakeshena bharata senayorubhayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, he is telling Dhritarashtra, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Bhishma Drona pramukhataha sarvesham cha mahikshitam uvacha partha pashyetan samavetan kuruniti. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Krishna is telling Arjuna. Now, when he's asked to take the chariot in the middle of two armies, Krishna very expertly brings the chariot in front of Drona and Bhishma. Why is that? Why is there uncertainty in Arjuna's mind now? Because Krishna has a plan. He wants to speak the Bhagavad Gita for all generations to come. And therefore he has made Arjuna unsure. He has put him under illusion. He has confused his mind. He is totally controlling his mind so that he could ask questions and Krishna could answer on behalf of all of us. It is Krishna's nature that he is very, very loving to his devotees, and he always wants his devotee to take the credit for whatever he himself does. Krishna is the ultimate doer, but he would always give the credit, or he would always like to glorify his devotee. Just like the parents want their children to be glorified more than them. Similarly, Krishna is very, very sweet, loving to his dear devotees, and he wants to increase their fame forever. So Krishna now wanted to speak the Bhagavad Gita so that for all time to come, whenever Gita would be discussed, people would also discuss about Arjuna, Arjuna's name would also be discussed. And therefore, it is only due to Krishna's will that Arjuna is confused. Otherwise, he is not ignorant. He has been put into ignorance by Krishna's will. And then what does Arjuna see? And then Krishna wanted to increase his uncertainty further. So deliberately, that's why he brings the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona, who represented Arjuna's greatest attachments in life, his teacher and his grandfather. He was most attached to them. So when he saw them in a fighting spirit, he became further weak. Tatra pashyat sthitan parthah pitrinath pitamahan acharyan matulan bhratrin putran pautran sakhim satha swashuran suhridaschaiva senayorubhayorapi. The kind of relatives Arjuna was seeing, anybody would have felt shattered. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. Almost everyone had come to fight. So naturally, any person in place of Arjuna would have felt what Arjuna is feeling. And when Arjuna looks at them, all that was going on within his heart, within his mind till now, suddenly starts manifesting externally on his body. See, mind is the central point of all the senses. Whatever happens within our mind starts manifesting through senses eventually. Thoughts, they lead to actions. So text 27 to 30, I'll just read through the translations and then we'll end. तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन् idam. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Arjuna uvacha Drishtve swajanam Krishna yujutsam samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishushyti. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Vipathuscha sharire me roma harshascha jayate gandibam sramsate hastat takchaiva paridahyate. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end. My bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum brahmativa cha me manaha nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Now here he is using the word Keshava, killer of the Keshi demon, trying to tell Krishna that you are asking me to fight and kill, but who are the people I am going to kill? I know you have also killed people in the past, but you have killed people like Keshi. He was a demon. I don't have to kill demons, they are my own people. So talks are going on a friendly level, and friendly level we all know that one friend can actually tease the other friend, or one can shout at the other friend. So Arjuna is being kind of angry within that, Krishna, why are you asking me to kill? You have not killed your own relatives, friends. You have killed, but you have killed demons like Keshi, not people like the ones who are standing in front of me. So Arjuna is uncertain, and when a person doesn't want to do something, he gives excuses and he tries to blame the other person. So now in the next set of verses 31 to 46, Arjuna is going to give certain reasons, excuses, powerful ones, as to why he didn't want to fight, why he should not fight. And that we shall discuss in the next podcast. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So what we discussed today, the 5 signs indicative of Pandavas' victory right from the beginning, and suddenly the uncertainty that arises in Arjuna's mind because of Krishna's will, because Krishna now had decided to speak the Bhagavad Gita.